since we had Eric Davis talking to Congress and the world about the 4 types of aliens, and he called the mantids insectoids, which is like an official terminology update from the ufology gatekeepers that I didn't think was cool. All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being with me. The sDm Files, episode 15. Everyone, make sure to check out all the links down in your breadbasket. We put all the things down there. We put even extra stuff in there. It's been a big couple of weeks for ufology. Come find me, x.com/shotdownmine. We'll do the thing together. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends. Here we go. This week we get started with Ross Coldheart, Need to Know number 63, with his sidekick Bruce Zabel, Immaculate Revelations, May 2025. This is their monthly podcast where they kind of cover everything that happened over the last month. And so, of course, they've got in here the UAP hearings with Lou Elizondo and his irrigation circle picture. They've got Harold Malmgren and his interview with Jesse Michels and basically his revitalization and validation of everything that's ufology related since the 1960s, including the bluegill test, shooting down UFOs, recovering technology, you name it, all the different things that Bruce Zabel has been putting into all of his different dramatizations over the last few decades. So they cover all of that. And we get into Weaponized, episode number 74, 75, 76. That's part 1, part 2, part 3 of Immaculate Constellation, a whistleblower's journey with Matthew Brown, the author of the 11-page Immaculate Constellation document that Corbell threw a big fit over getting entered into Congress and not getting enough credit over afterwards. And the 3-part interview is excellent. Brown comes off as genuine and authentic and kind of scared. Nothing like the sliminess of Elizondo, nothing like the doofy weirdness of Grush. Does not seem to be like a ufology fanboy of any kind. So all of whether they learned from all of their mistakes in the past or just all of the nonsense of the past isn't sticking to this guy, but this guy's coming off as at least authentic and genuine, whatever that means, about the things that he's saying. Big news, kind of overshadowed in the part 1 by the Lou Elizondo irrigation circle photograph in Congress, the UAP hearings. But since Weaponized broke this up into 3 parts, they seem to be kind of getting past that as the UAP hearing Lou Elizondo flop kind of, makes its course and fizzles out. So you can spend your ufology time listening to a couple hours of this guy talking about basically everything under the sun ufology. And it's all since the update began in 2017 with the New York Times article with Leslie Kean and Ralph Blumenthal. Third Eye Drops with Michael Phillips. The UFO Agenda, Disclosure and Consciousness with Richard Dolan. It's 2 hours of Richard Dolan just kind of talking about everything. And it's not a Richard Dolan presentation. It's not about USOs. They really kind of just get into like a kind of a fun conversation between 2 ufology nerds about everything that there is in ufology. Captured Alien Explains Reality, Area 52, Chris Ramsey. I like to grind this axe of Chris Ramsey, being a magician, taking a lot of time to explain that when a magician tells you something is not real, that thing is real, and that's the thing that you should be paying attention to. The thing that they say is not real or is real and is the thing that you're supposed to be paying attention to, you're supposed to ignore that. And then he goes on to read fictional, quote unquote, accounts from ufology books, 4chan, Reddit, you name it. And so I think that he's, in addition to actually making the point in his Twitter posts almost daily, he's kind of making a point as he's a magician telling you to look at the thing that he's telling you not to look at. So it's really fun. I think you've got like a 38-part Debriefed series that you kind of make your way back through Matilda, Lacerda Files, 4chan, Reddit, Victor, etc. As you know, I think that pretty much everything Area 52 and Chris Ramsey does is a lot of fun. Randall Carlson shows up on Jesse Michels as the American alchemist, talking about the moon. The moon is an alien satellite monitoring Earth. It's a long interview. It's 3.5 hours. It's way longer than the movie Moonfall, which I have highlighted in the past as like a great, quick, and fun way to learn about all the conspiracy stuff involving the moon. And so same thing here, except for we get to kind of link it into Atlantis and Randall Carlson's theory of cyclic, catastrophic cataclysm. 1997 Peru UFO crash retrieval. UAP Gerb tells the story of Jonathan Weygandt. Really fun. It's kind of 2 parts slammed into 2 hours. So it's one episode, but it's 2 parts. The first part is him going through all the bits and pieces of Jonathan Weygandt's original interviews with Stephen Greer and James Fox back in 1997. And then now, as he re-interviews him, but then links it into all of the other research that he's done on the Department of Energy and all of their secret doings. Earth's mantis overlords. They've been here all along. The Y-Files stripped. You know, we're big fans of the Y-Files here at the sDm Files. So this is like a 25-minute episode on the mantis overlords, which I thought was especially pertinent since we had Eric Davis talking to Congress and the world about the 4 types of aliens, and he called the mantids insectoids, which is like an official terminology update from the ufology gatekeepers that I didn't think was cool. So I've been telling Twitter, telling X for 2 weeks now that, making mantids into insectoids and insectoids into mantids is like a unnecessary terminology argument that we get to have in ufology now for the next month because of fucking Eric Davis. And so here we go. It's a lot of fun. The Y-Files. UAP Files podcast. UFOs, UAPs in 2027 with former CIA agent John Ramirez. I love everything John Ramirez. He's kind of a great precursor to the controlled disclosure of David Grush and Lou Elizondo 3.0. There's not a lot of hours of John Ramirez on the internet. There's less than 20, maybe less than 15. He's got a ufology presentation that he does, talks to you about the reptilian unit patches inside of special agency projects across the United States government. And then he's an experiencer and has like 12 different experiencer stories that you'll hear him talk about across his various interviews, including this one. And this one is brand new, really. Despite his promise to not show up again until after controlled disclosure was fully started. Here we are. We got John Ramirez doing an hour with the UAP Files podcast. Vetted comes through with a 1-hour interview. The president of UFO Norway, Renate, and this other guy that shows up all over the place, Dr. Dan, the experiencer. Really fun. Like I said, 1-hour interview from Vetted, and you don't get a lot of original content from Vetted. You usually just kind of like covering ufology news on a daily basis. So once a month, every other week or so, when he pops out kind of an hour-long ufology interview, they're always really fun. And this one is one of the best that he's ever done, especially since we get to kind of go over the details of 4 different UFO encounters in a very short time period, 1 hour. So very fun. Vetted is always very fun. We'll finish everything up with Danny Sheehan doing a 2-hour kind of talk about everything under the sun, ufology, with probably someone from his own gatekeeping organization, Citizens for Disclosure, making sure to get a lot of pump in for Contact in the Desert at the end of this month in May, and promote the Disclosure documentary that's out there, but also it kind of touches on every person and every topic inside of ufology, answers questions, throws a little bit of shade at Skywalker, but other than that, it's a great primer from one of the premier ufology gatekeeper organizations out there. And that's what you get. Episode 15, Need to Know. Episode number 63, Ross Coldheart, Bruce Zabel. Weaponized Immaculate Constellations, Part 2 and 3. The UFO Agenda, Third Eye Drops, Michael Phillip. Michael Phillip and Richard Dolan. Captured Alien Explains Reality, the Matilda MacElroy story from Area 52, Chris Ramsey. Randall Carlson talks about the moon and Atlantis with Jesse Michels. What else were those guys doing while they're hanging out, you know? 1997 Peru UFO crash retrieval, UAP Gerb. Earth Mantis Overlords on the Y-Files, our favorite. UAP Files podcast with John Ramirez, new John Ramirez interview. 4 UFO cases revealed by President of UFO Norway on Vetted. And Danny Sheehan doing it all and doing everybody all at once. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share everything with your friends.